Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT network, as well as my own channel, Broncos Breakdown, on YouTube. Uh, Guys, thanks so much for chiming in. This show is always brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, my comments as well as yours in the chat. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys, thanks so much, like I said, for being here on a Friday. Wherever you may be, I hope your week went well. And we're going to cap it off with the Broncos Breakdown show this Friday night. And we got some different topics going on here. Got a Jackass of the Week. That one's going to hurt because it involves a former Broncos player. We'll get into that. And then, of course, the topic of the show, the Bo Nix Era. Bo Nix he's saying all the right things, and we'll get into all of that too. But we got some other things prior to that. But just really thankful that you guys are watching. You guys are going to participate, and this show is going to be all about the people in the chat and whatever your comments may be. All right, guys, let's start off with Courtland Sutton. Now, Courtland Sutton is disgruntled for a lot of different reasons. And I think one of the main reasons, before I get into the actual reading on the topic, this topic, is that Courtland Sutton's disgruntled, and I firmly believe it's because, I know for a fact he wants his contract restructured, and we'll talk about that. But I also think it's because Russell Wilson's gone. And Russell Wilson was, the quarterback where he made all those ridiculous catches in the end zone, that kind of thing, as well as his really good friend in Jerry Jeudy. So there's a lot of different variables to this. But Courtland Sutton is not happy, and it's primarily due to his contract. We'll get to that in just a moment. Lawrence, I hope I'm saying your last name right, DeHera. Lawrence DeHera says, "Go Broncos! I'm with our coach and who he sees fit." I also agree. Sean Payton knows what he's looking for, and I think in drafting Bo Nix, and you'll hear some of the quotes that I have from Bo Nix. He's ecstatic, and that's what it says down below my name right here. It says, proving Peyton made the right move. That's what Bo Nix wants to do. We'll get into that, Lawrence, but thank you so much for batting leadoff in chat. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, let's get to Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton didn't report to voluntary workouts due to his contract situation. Now, he wants a long-term contract. He wants a contract worthy of what he put up in 2023. Now, there's a lot of debate that, Courtland Sutton, he dropped some passes and whatnot. But I'll tell you what, those spectacular catches in the end zone, I forget what game it was, but he was right on the edge. But I think that was Buffalo, right on the edge of the out-of-bounds line in the end zone on the side. Oh, my gosh, kept his toes out. I don't know how in heaven's name he did that. But, he deserves a new contract. Does he get it from the Broncos? Well, let me continue. He's going to be a free agent after the 2025 season, and he only has $2 million in guaranteed money left on his current deal. So if he only has $2 million guaranteed left on his deal that he has now that's guaranteed, so, do the Broncos pony up? Do they pay him? I don't think so. I would want him to stay. Absolutely. I just don't know. I don't think so. All the dials in every direction is not pointing towards, the Broncos keep him. However, the Broncos may have been shopping him, but nobody's taking him because I guess Courtland Sutton wants a boatload of money. And did he earn it? Did he earn a big contract for what he did last year? A lot of people could say yes. A lot of people could say no. I don't know. Let me continue. Sutton is unhappy with his current contract, but according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, The Pittsburgh. Oh, who's on the Pittsburgh Steelers? That's right, Russell Wilson. I'll get into that in just a second. Says, according to ESPN, Jeremy Fowler, the Pittsburgh Steelers could have a strong interest in Courtland Sutton. I agree. Why wouldn't they have a strong interest? Maybe Russell Wilson's in the ear of the GM or in the ear of the coach or whatever and saying, hey, I work really well with Courtland Sutton. Bring him over, whatever it takes. I want him here in Pittsburgh. Why wouldn't that happen? It could happen very, very easily. If Denver's willing to trade Courtland Sutton, but part of me thinks, do you trade him to Pittsburgh, who we know we have to play this year? They already have our former quarterback, Russell Wilson. And if they get Courtland Sutton, that's a 1-2 punch against us. Do the Broncos trade Courtland Sutton to Pittsburgh? I don't know. Could be. Could very well be. It all depends on what the Broncos are going to get. And if the Broncos think then it's worth trading to a team that you're going to have to play that year, well, we played the Cleveland Browns, and that's where Jerry Jeudy went. So who knows? So I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, Courtland Sutton being angry, Jerry Jeudy being traded, we have Josie Jules on Carolina. I mean, a lot of pieces moving, have moved, are going to move, draft picks, all of that. It's a season already that's turning into the offseason, just like we've had for 3 years. Broncos making a lot of moves and doing a lot of things. So it's in the works. We'll find out what happens. We'll definitely find out what happens. All right. Big E is batting second in the chat. Says, how you doing, Bill? I'm doing fine, Big E. How you doing, my friend? Kamani batting third. Says, Bill, I say, Kamani, what is up? All right. Batting cleanup. Unique Prepping says, I love Sutton, but I thought he'd be better than how Jeudy acted. I think Sean is wanting him to improve his game and attitude first. Yeah, I would agree with that. Unique, I really would. I just don't know with the patience of the Broncos coaching staff. Now, remember, we have Courtland Sutton locked up through 2024, but he would be a free agent in 2025. So we have him this year. If he improves, if he does what Sean Payton wants him to do, and Courtland Sutton, tightens the belt straps, pulls up his, socks or strips or, whatever the cliche saying is, and does what he's supposed to do, then yeah, the Broncos may pony up and give him the money. But if he doesn't, if he slacks off, if he drops passes when he's wide open and the ball's right there in his grasp and he drops it, I mean, things like that are not going to sit well with Sean Payton. So I would have to agree with you, Unique Prepping. I totally agree with you. I really do think that they're waiting for him to improve. And this is the only last year he's got, because after that, if Denver doesn't pony up and give him a new contract, he'll be a free agent in 2025. So there you go. That's all I can say in a nutshell in regards to response to what you said, Unique, in the chat. So really do appreciate it. Thank you. Lawrence says, let Pittsburgh take some more of Wilson's contract would be cool. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, that was a hard hit. But hey, you know what? Denver will get past it. We'll get past it. We'll move on. Hopefully we don't make that drastic mistake again, because that was just horrible. Biggie says, Mike Kliss already said Denver turned down Pittsburgh's trade offer. Okay, well, then there was a trade offer. So I think it goes back to what Unique Prepping was saying, and that is they're just trying to see, if Courtland Sutton can, improve, get better, do what he needs to do. And maybe that's all part of it. Maybe that's why, because of what Courtland Sutton did last year. Maybe they're wanting to see if he can repeat that this year and make it a mainstay and not a flash in the pan. I mean, Seriously, I mean, there's a lot of parameters to look at, a lot of different things to look at when it comes to contracts. Me as a fan, I'm just like anybody else that's a hardcore Broncos fan. I mean, I look at it and I go, no, don't let him go. Keep Courtland Sutton. Love the guy. Made spectacular catches. All of this, all of that. But it comes down to deeper things. How is he in the locker room? How is he with his teammates? How is he with the coaching staff? All of that stuff. So I don't want Courtland Sutton gone. I really don't. I didn't want Jerry Jeudy gone. I don't want anybody gone on the Broncos that wears orange and blue to go to another team and be better. Now, there's a couple of them that I didn't like. I didn't like Jay Cutler. I didn't like Brock Osweiler, although he was very instrumental in getting us to Super Bowl 50, and we won it. Not with Osweiler, but with Manning. But still, nonetheless, Osweiler had a hand in it. I didn't like Drew Lock. I mean, there's, players that I don't mind seeing leave. Courtland Sutton's just not one of them. All right. G Money 88 in the chat, batting 6, says, "What's up, Bronco Bill? We need Vegas to win tonight." Absolutely. That's why I got the Avalanche hat on, baby. I'll get into an Avalanche topic here. I got the flag back there, of course. I know it's Broncos breakdown. I know it's Broncos talk, but I got the Bronco banner up here, and I got pictures here, and so, and of course I got the stripes up here, the blue and orange. So, hey, it is Broncos breakdown, but hey, when the Avalanche are doing what the Avalanche are doing, you got to talk about it. Yeah. Vegas needs to win. The reason why, for those of you out there who may not follow the Avalanche or how hockey playoffs are structured, the Avalanche were the number 3 team in the division, and the Vegas Golden Knights are a wild card. So if they beat Dallas, Dallas Stars tonight and force a Game 7 and win Game 7, then the Colorado Avalanche will have home ice advantage, kind of like having home field advantage, like we did when we played the New England Patriots, and Osweiler got us that win in overtime on Thanksgiving in 2016? 17. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. But same thing. So we definitely want to have home ice advantage. That's one of the things we strive for. All right. Kamani says they got to make sure the quarterback gets the ball to him too. Well, that's true. That's true. And that's the thing that I just don't understand. I don't know. I shouldn't say understand. I just don't know when it comes to Bo Nix. Bo Nix is a very, very quick drop back passer, something that Sean Payton loves, and that's why he drafted him. And he gets the ball out of his hands in like 2.5 seconds, 1.8 seconds, something like that. So if you're doing a quick slant, Courtland Sutton can do that. Can he hang on to the ball? That's been the problem. So I don't know. We'll find out, as we get into OTAs, as we get into preseason, and obviously as we get into the regular season, it'll be something that we need to keep our eye on for sure. Absolutely. All right. Lauren says, Avalanche is our team too. Us real Bronco fans love our Avalanche. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, how can you not? How can you not love the Avalanche? I mean, you don't even have to really be a hockey fan. I'm not even a real big basketball fan. In fact, I shouldn't even say real big. I should say I'm barely a basketball fan. But when the Nuggets were in the playoffs last year and they beat the Lakers and then went on to win it all, I mean, how can you not follow it? I mean, that's just the beauty of sports. You get wrapped up in your favorite city. Doesn't have to be the city you live in, because I live in Southern California, but my favorite city and state is Colorado. I've been there. I love it. Absolutely love it. I love Fort Collins. I love Windsor. We were in downtown Denver. My wife treated me in a surprise to a tour of Mile High Stadium. I know, in Power Field, the Mile High. And it was amazing. Went to the Garden of the Gods. Went up in Fort Collins. They have a thing called the Raptor Rescue Center. We went there and I saw a bald eagle. Seriously, guys, saw a bald eagle from like about 5-7 feet away. It's crazy. I got great pictures, and just amazing, just amazing. The size, the wingspan. I know I'm going off the normal topics, but man, when you're talking about your favorite city, your favorite state, oh my gosh. I love Colorado. Absolutely love Colorado. No doubt about it. So Lawrence, you're dead on, man. Broncos fans love Avalanche and Nuggets. Rockies, I'm a Cubs fan. Sorry, it has nothing to do with the fact that I don't like the Rockies. I do when they're, when they play, I want them to win, obviously, but I'm a Cubs fan, and that's a whole nother story down the road. It goes back to when I was a young teenager. But anyways, all right, let's move on. Now, Courtland Sutton, maybe, and I know it was brought up that that Pittsburgh kind of nixed that entire trade, but just think if he would go to Pittsburgh. Here it is. NFL analyst Daniel Jeremiah stated that Russell Wilson, the Steelers quarterback, could emerge as a winner after the 2024 NFL draft. Why? Well, listen to this. The Steelers drafted players to protect Russell Wilson. Okay? They drafted an offensive lineman, an offensive tackle, as well as a center. And they also drafted a wide receiver. According to Jeremiah, all these drafted players are in place to protect Wilson as well as providing an offensive weapon in wide receiver. Now, if the Steelers could have pulled off that pulled off that trade with the Broncos for Courtland Sutton, oh my gosh. In my opinion, and just going off of what Daniel Jeremiah says, and he knows he's an NFL analyst, the Pittsburgh Steelers are in prime position to have Russell Wilson succeed. Why am I bringing this up? Because it involved Courtland Sutton possibly, or did, but it also is because we play the Steelers this year. And if the Steelers are getting better and Russell Wilson looks good, how much egg on our face do the Denver Broncos organization look like after hiring Nathaniel Hackett and destroying Russell Wilson, basically bringing in Sean Payton, and Russell Wilson can't figure out how to run his offense? And then we go play Pittsburgh, and then the Steelers and Russell Wilson look like freaking John Elway and Mike Shanahan? Seriously. What am I trying to say? What would be your feeling and thought? Mine would be, what the heck happened? How come we couldn't do that? How come it worked out in Pittsburgh, but it couldn't work out here? Well, maybe it's because of pieces around Russell Wilson. Maybe it's because of the coach adapts to Russell Wilson. Sean Payton did his best to try and adapt a game plan to Russell Wilson. Just didn't work. Well, it did for 5 games, and that's always been my point. If it worked for 5 games, what happened against New England? Just saying. All right. Okay. Biggie says in the chat, Biggie says, I think Bo Nix gets somewhere between 25 to 28 touchdowns and between 3,000 to 3,800 yards, 6 to 8 interceptions, and he gets sacked 10 to 15 times. Okay. Wow. All right. Those are some pretty big numbers, pretty big stats that you're throwing out there. Projected stats, I should say, Big E. Those are good. 25, 28 touchdowns, 3,000 to 3,800 yards, 6 to 8 interceptions, and get sacked 10 to 15 times. Well, 10 to 15 times is less than 1 a game. So there you go. I like that. I like your thought process. I like the way you think, obviously. And hey, let's see if it comes out. Because I can always go back to this show and look it back up, or edit it after the show's over, and take it apart and set it aside and say, all right, let's see how close Big E gets. Let's just see how close. All right. He follows up by saying it usually takes a rookie offensive lineman a year or two to adjust in the NFL and get used to the speed of it. That's true. Very, very true. So we'll see what happens. I mean, there are some players that come out in the draft and they're just like all pro right out of the gate. I mean, Von Miller was one. I mean, Von Miller was an absolute beast, right out of the gate, after he was drafted. But yeah, primarily, it does usually take, a year or two to kind of feel it out. But I think as a lineman or whatever, it's positioning, it's technique, it's game planning, it's film study, that kind of thing, to see, okay, this guy likes to on certain downs, certain lines, if he lines outside, he likes to crash, whatever it is, and I'll leave that up to the guys in the film room and the line class and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you're dead on. It does take a while. Some adapt quicker, but realistically, it does take a little bit. All right, Lawrence says, just like you said, Russ couldn't run our offense. Russ is about Russ, not our team. Bingo. Great point. Great point, Lawrence. You're absolutely right. And unless he changes his attitude in Pittsburgh and, does what he's supposed to do and stuff. But when he came here, he thought he could just, run Ramshot, and he did. When Nathaniel Hackett was a head coach, Russell Wilson ran Ramshot. He had his own office, not on the level of the players, above the level of the players. He had his own entourage, his own quarterback, personal quarterback coach that went everywhere. It was a joke, guys. It was a joke. And then when Sean Payton comes in, Sean Payton goes, no, that ain't happening, Russ. And then they started butting heads. Why? Because exactly what Lawrence said. What Lawrence said was exactly right. Let me bring it back up again, guys. He says, just like you said, Russ couldn't run our offense. Russ is about Russ, not our team. Absolutely. And that was the problem. And he didn't like the fact that Sean Payton took it away from him when Nathaniel Hackett gave it to him. Well, guess what? Grow up, Russell. It ain't about you. It's a team sport. If you want to be about you, play golf or play tennis. Okay? Simple. And then you can say it's all about you. Other than that, it's a team sport, and you have to treat it and respect it and play as a team player. My nephew, Robert Marino, I call him Bobby. He said, Bronco Bill. I say, what's up, Bobby? What's happening, man? He follows it up by saying, if Russ was a better person and wasn't still and still wouldn't be about him, his play would have been the same. I agree. And if it wasn't about him, the play would be totally different. But it was about him, and that's how he played. I'll run first, I'll look this way, I'll do what I normally do. And that's not what Sean Payton needed. All right, let me move on. And this is going to be the last one involving the Steelers, I promise. Here it is. This is strange. This is strange. And I'll tell you why. Because the Pittsburgh Steelers traded for Justin Fields. Well, to be a backup to Russell Wilson? Not necessarily. But to compete, be the starting quarterback, be the best quarterback on that team. Why am I bringing this in? Because listen to this strange. This is crazy. Here we go. Steelers special teams coordinator Danny Smith feels Justin Simmons. Justin Fields should be their return man? What the heck? You're kidding me. No, I'm not kidding you. Not kidding you at all. Listen to this. The reason for his idea is due to the new kickoff return rules preventing players from moving until the returner touches the ball. Holy smokes. That's a quarterback. Now, maybe not a great quarterback, but a quarterback. He does have legs. He does have hands. You want him, your backup quarterback, you want him to be a punt returner, a kickoff returner? Are you freaking stupid? Crazy? Wow. I mean, I read this and I'm like, whoa, I got to read this again. Are you crazy? Seriously? Let me continue. When the subject came up with running back Jaylen Warren, Warren said, and I quote, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. All right, let me continue. I'm still quoting. I think it's pretty cool, but hold up. We looked at him like Justin Fields is about to be back there. I don't know, but I think it's pretty cool. End quote. Are you crazy? You want a quarterback, possibly your starting quarterback, to be on a punt return or a kickoff return? I don't care what the rules have been changed. And it is really ridiculous rules where you can't move till the guy catches a ball. I don't know. I mean, I understand they're trying to eliminate injuries, guys flying down the field and stuff like that. And getting hurt on kickoff or punt return and stuff. I understand that. But holy smokes, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to have to see it. I'm going to have to see it in preseason. And it's just something I don't think I'm going to really like. But hey, I know, like I said, they're trying to err on the side of caution, not getting players hurt. I get that. But you're going to put a Justin Fields, or even considering or thinking about or wanting to put a Justin Fields back there? Okay, what if he gets hurt? What if he's the only backup quarterback on your team in that game, and he gets hurt, and then Russell Wilson gets hurt? Then what? Oh, I guess that was a bad idea to have him back there. Yeah, you think? Now, I'm not advocating for him not to be back. I would love for him to be back there. I could care less. That's not my favorite team. I don't like Steelers. But I'm just saying, as a fan, and I'm relating it to how I would feel if that were to be, thought about on the Broncos. I wouldn't want that. Not at all. Not at all. Nope. Stupid idea. All right. My nephew Bobby says they really want Justin to play the field. That was a good one, man. That was a good one. I like it. All right. Biggie says if they convert the wide receiver and get him and Russell Wilson on the field at the same time, just imagine from the Wildcat offense they could run out of that. That's a good point. That's a really, really good point, Big E. Absolutely. Yeah. If they put him back there, they could run a crazy Wildcat. Absolutely. And I wouldn't put it past them. Maybe that's why they got Justin Fields. Not only to be a backup to Russell Wilson, but perhaps, like you said, do some Wildcat crazy schemes, crazy setups. Line him out like a slant guy, or have him in the backfield, kind of like what they do in New Orleans with Hill. Is it Tyson Hill? Yeah, Tyson Hill. Kind of like what they do with him. Same kind of thing. You never know. You never know what coaches are going to come up with in the offseason. Different plays, different formations, different looks, different presentation. They're all trying to get to that next level of play, execution, all that kind of stuff. You never know. Maybe that's why they wanted Justin Fields. We'll find out down the road. All right. A major shakeup in the NFL. Here it is. Boomer Esiason and Phil Simms are both out at the NFL Today show as the NFL studio undergoes a huge makeover. Why? Why would you get rid of Phil Simms and Boomer Esiason? Well, listen to this. They will be replaced by Matt Ryan and J.J. Watt. Boomer Esiason was on the NFL Today show for 22 years and Phil Simms for 26. The main reason, in my opinion, they didn't say why, but the main reason, in my opinion, they want to get more younger, newer former players like a Matt Ryan and J.J. Watt that the younger fans can relate to in this generation. Boomer Esiason and Phil Simms, I mean, if they've been on there for 22 and 26 years, they've been retired for at least that, if not more so. At least 26 years, I'd say. So you go back, and that's in the 80s. Well, there's a lot of football fans today that weren't born in the 80s. And if they were, they're way too young to really know who these guys were or even watch them play. You couldn't. How could they watch them play if they were already in the NFL Today show at the beginning of the games? There's no way they could relate to them. And maybe they were losing audience, or they were losing revenue, or they're losing whatever. So you got to bring somebody in like a Matt Ryan, who this generation knows, as well as a J.J. Watt. Are they going to be any good? I don't know. Matt Ryan is going to give the perspective of the offensive side, obviously. J.J. Watt from the defensive side. So I think it'll work out well. Boomer Esiason and Phil Simms were both quarterbacks, both offensive side. I think this is going to be a good diversity. To be able to see both sides of the ball from two people who are very dynamic in their game and in their careers. So I think it's a great move. I feel bad for Boomer Esiason and Phil Simms because, what they did for so long was so good. But, hey, things change. NFL is always about changing, always about improving, always about marketing their product, getting it out there to the younger fans. And this is just one of the moves that the NFL is making, along with rule changes, like I stated earlier, things like that. It's just going to happen. It's going to happen because, the NFL is always trying to improve, always trying to improve. All right. Denver Broncos have made a trade last Monday, but it was after my last show. Here we go. The Denver Broncos and the New York Jets have made a trade involving draft pick and a player. Denver Broncos get defensive end John Franklin Myers, and the Jets get Denver's 2026 sixth-round pick. Great move. Great move. John Franklin Myers is going to be an absolute stud, absolute starter. No doubt about it. He'll be on the outside edge. And it's fantastic to get somebody like this who is just a beast on defense. The Broncos have needed an edge rusher, a very solid edge rusher since Von Miller left and went to the Rams and now on the Buffalo Bills. So we've needed a very strong edge rusher. Am I saying that John Franklin Myers is another Von Miller? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we have needed an edge rusher since Von Miller departed. So this is a great move. Not sure why the Jets wanted to get rid of him. I don't understand that. But as soon as he became available, the Broncos were very, very interested, and they pulled the trigger to get this guy. And they only gave up a sixth-round pick, not in 2025, 2026. So, that's huge. That's huge. All right, here it is. This all comes per Adam Schefter. Here's the contract. Myers received a 2-year, $15 million contract with $10 million guaranteed from the Denver Broncos. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Excuse me. Absolutely brilliant. You've got to make sure that if that's your guy, you got to lock him up. You have to lock him up. Now, they didn't do long-term. They did 2 years, and that takes them into 2026, where that sixth-round draft pick that the Jets will have. So it's not like it's a 1-year contract, one and done. No, they're going to keep him for a couple of years and see how it pans out. But to give him $13 million contract, $10 million guaranteed, not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. Absolutely not whatsoever. All right. Okay. One of my favorite Denver Bronco players of all time has retired. Here it is. Cornerback and 4-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl 50 champion Chris Harris is calling it a career after 12 seasons. Harris said about his retirement decision, and I quote, "I just wanted a year and I stayed in shape, but I realized that everybody was pretty much moving on with younger players. the younger wave. So I thought it would be great to just call it an end. End quote. Wow. He stayed in shape for an entire year after he wasn't playing, and never got a call to go to another team. And he just decided, hey, you know what? I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to, to think that, I can be on a team or whatever when they're going into a younger generation, so to speak, younger players, faster players, whatever. And he just said, hey, I think I'll just call it a career. Harris said his only regret was not being able to play safety later in his career. Harris was undrafted. Remember that, guys. He was undrafted. Let me go back to what his comments. Undrafted, 4-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl champion. Wow. Undrafted. Kind of reminds me of Rod Smith. Undrafted. Super Bowl hero. Super Bowl champion, I should say. And Rod Smith, just like Chris Harris, man, undrafted. Unbelievable. And had a phenomenal career. All right. Like I said, Harris was undrafted and signed with the Broncos and played with them for 9 seasons. Yes, he played 12 seasons in the NFL, 9 with Denver, 2 with the LA Chargers, and 1 with the New Orleans Saints, I believe. And that was his 12-year career. Phenomenal career, outstanding cornerback. I firmly have to believe he's going to retire as a Denver Bronco. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I sure to heck hope he gets into the Hall of Fame and that he goes in as a Denver Bronco. Absolutely no doubt. Chris Harris Jr. needs to be on the Broncos Ring of Fame. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Absolutely. Hands down. Should be unanimous. Chris Harris Jr., hopefully you will not only be on the Broncos Ring of Fame, hopefully you'll have a bust out in the front of Empower Field at Mile High, and hopefully soon, 5 years down the road, you will be elected into the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's all I can wish for, man. I wish you all the best, Chris Harris, in whatever you do down the road. But you definitely deserve to be in the Broncos Ring of Fame, a bust out front, and a bust at Canton, Ohio, in the NFL Hall of Fame. All right. D-Rock is in the chat. D-Rock says, Big Bill, I say, what's up, Big D-Rock, man? Nice to have you in the chat as always. Great to see each and every one of you, man. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. This one's going to hurt. This one is definitely going to hurt. It's the Jackass of the Week, and it involves a former Denver Bronco who I absolutely admired, respected, loved his gameplay, a back-to-back Super Bowl champion with the Denver Broncos. This Jackass of the Week really stings. Here it is. This week's Jackass of the Week. All right. This one's tough because I really, really like this guy. All right. Let me see. David Byrne, before I get to it, David Byrne says, congratulations to the Broncos for locking down both Knicks in the draft. I love it. Bo Nix. He meant Bo instead of both. I totally agree, David. Thank you so much for being in the chat. I couldn't agree with you more. Locking down Bo Nix, getting him as our future quarterback, our future franchise quarterback is totally exciting. Totally exciting. And David Burns follows up by saying, I'm watching from Cedar Hill, Texas. Thank you so much, David. Hope you're well and safe. I know you guys get some ridiculous weather down there sometimes, so I hope you're doing well and that you're safe. But thanks so much for chiming in and watching the show and being in the chat. All right, like I said, this Jackass of the Week is going to sting. It's going to hurt because I never like bringing Jackass of the Week when it involves a Denver Bronco, current or former. Because why? Because they're a Denver Bronco. I don't want them to be, brought up in a Jackass of the Week. But when it happens, it happens. And I got to do it. So here it is. According to USA Today, Bill Romanowski, excuse me, and his wife, Julie, have filed bankruptcy. Really? Bankruptcy? Romanowski? Hold on. Amid allegations, they owe the United States government over $15 million in back taxes. Okay? All right, guys, we all know we have to pay taxes. And I know that there's hardships out there and people have a tough time of coming up with $2 or $3 or $4 or $5 or even, $1,000 or even, $400 or $500 to pay the government because they didn't take out enough tax. I understand that. I've been there. I know what it's like. It's not fun. But 15 million and you've made millions in your career? How does something like this happen? Let me continue. Last year, the Assistant Attorney General, David Hubert, filed an 18-page complaint alleging they, the Romanowskis, here it is, used a nutrition company that Romanowski owns called N53, Nutrient, 53 for his jersey number, by using N53 to skirt tax allegations. By using N53 to pay their personal living expenses and those of their adult children's expenses, the Romanowskis have improperly used N53 to thwart the IRS collection of their individual income tax. Holy smokes. Not only did he evade taxes, but he did it under the table, so to speak, or masking it over or whatever with his business endeavor called N53 and thwarted the government or thwarted the IRS collection of his individual income tax? Seriously? Holy smokes. What kind of lavish things was he doing? It says right here for his personal living expenses. So he's got this N53, this nutrient thing that he was taking when he was working. Well, yeah, true. But when he was playing in the NFL, he had like these nutrients and he would take them supplements and the NFL looked at it, that's illegal. But then they found out that it wasn't. It wasn't anything that was illegal to do. It was just natural supplements or natural nutrients that was keeping his body in shape and that kind of thing. Okay. So now he's selling this product or doing whatever. And the money coming in, he uses for his own personal expenses and those of his adult children's expenses, not under 18, not, maybe school clothes or what. No, adult children expenses. What are those? Cars, houses, college? Doesn't say. Don't know. What adult expenses could there be? Could be a host of things, a lot of things. Vacations? Who knows? Doesn't say. $15 million worth of non-back paid taxes. Whoa, man, that is absolutely preposterous. Unthinkable. Romanowski, why would you do that? I mean, wouldn't you know that down the road you're going to get caught? Wouldn't you know that what you're doing is not, morally correct, ethnically correct? I mean, work ethic correct? My gosh, dude. Seriously. And you took your wife down with you. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand these guys. I really don't. I try hard not to have Jackass of the Week, but when it's right smack dab in front of my face, got to do it. I mean, how can these people be this way? All right, I continue. Bill Romanowski, over his career, won 4 Super Bowls, 2 with Denver, and racked over 1,000 career tackles. He was on the Broncos back-to-back championships of Super Bowl 32 and Super Bowl 33. Unfreaking believable. Romanowski, I loved you, man. I loved you in those seasons. Super Bowl 32 season, Super Bowl 33 season. I mean, amazing in the Super Bowl against the Falcons. I mean, you just took down Chandler like nobody's business. You know, you're just instrumental in both of those Super Bowl championship games. I'm dumbfounded. I'm absolutely dumbfounded that it would come to that. I don't understand it. I mean, like I said, I've been there before. I've had issues where oh shoot, man, I owe the IRS $500 or something, and I'm like, oh shoot, I don't have it. So you make payments or whatever, and then you come up with it, and you're done with it. 15 million, and you did it willfully, taking money from your N53 business. Wow, I just shocked. I'm shocked. I'm stunned. I'm bummed. I feel bad for the guy. I know a lot of people don't say, well, it serves him right. You get that duck on Roman. Yeah, I understand. And I know that he had issues on the field where he spit in the face of a 49er player. I know that. I'm not condoning that. But I'm talking about his play on the field. I loved his play on the field. Instrumental in the Broncos Super Bowl championships. I just don't condone, what he did, spitting in the 49er face. And I don't condone this. Absolutely not. I'm like I say, I'm bummed. I'm bummed because it's kind of like, one of the guys that I really liked watching. I loved his play, his aggressiveness, and then now it all just comes crashing down, and then he took his wife down because she's all part of the, she's married to him. She's going to go down with the ship as well. And, so now Romanowski and his wife have filed bankruptcy, and that's just sad. Just very, very sad that, a player like that of his ability and whatnot had a great side business after the NFL and probably ruined that too. Probably ruined that business as well, because now people are probably not going to buy it because they have no idea, where the money's going to go, whatever. It's just sad. Just very, very sad. All right. What? D-Rock says, yeah, I'm a huge Dirty Bill fan. Dirty Bill. Oh, Dirty Bill Romanowski. Yeah, because I didn't see that earlier. He says, I hope the jackass isn't Dirty Bill. Well, sorry, D-Rock. I had to. What am I supposed to do? It's right there. It's right there. Like I said before I even started the segment, I said, this one's going to hurt. This is not what I want to do. I could have looked over it. I could have not done it. But then if people would have said, hey, how come you didn't do a Bill Romanowski Jackass of the Week? I mean, can you believe that? Then that's on me. And I'm not going to have that. If it's out there, if a Bronco player, former Bronco player, current, whatever, does something that puts them on the Jackass of the Week, I gotta be an equal opportunity Jackass of the Week presenter. I can't just ignore the Bronco ones and talk about everybody else's. That just wouldn't fly with me. I can't do that. I would, my integrity, personally, my integrity would be shot. And I can't do that. Can't do that. Let's see. David Bird says karma because he called Cam Newton boy, and that was very disrespectful of him, but he did apologize. Yeah, he did apologize for it, but hey, a lot of people are saying karma. Absolutely. A lot of people are saying karma. And a lot of people say what comes around goes around. Be careful for what you wish for and all those cliches. So yeah. Here we go. David says if they pay their taxes as they should have, this wouldn't be an issue. They were assessed taxes and penalties 26 years ago. I did not know that. Wow. All right, David. Well, thanks for bringing that to the forefront. I mean, this is obviously not a one-time thing, or it's just something that happened this past year or two or whatever. Wow, that's huge. That's not good. That's not good. That's a problem. That's a very, very, very serious problem. D-Rock comes up with a very sad face that I had Bill Romanowski as the Jackass of the Week. Like I said, D-Rock, I'm sorry, but hey, when it rears its ugly head, I got to bring it. I'm sorry. Robert Marino, Bobby, my nephew says Romo can't sack Uncle Sam. No, he can't. No, he cannot. That's one institution or organization he cannot sack. I'm sorry, Romo. What can I say? I wish you all the best in what's going to come down the road. I really do. Own up to it. Do what you got to do. Pay back, and it's just something that every American citizen has to do is pay taxes. But when you use a business to kind of heap luxury things on yourself and your family, that's never a good look. That's never a good look. All right, we're wrapped up that jackass of the week and get into our main topic. So let's get out of here and get back to the main. All right, the main topic of the show is the Bo Nix era, and I like to expand on that and say the Bo Nix era has begun. And Bo Nix is saying and hopefully doing all the right things that he should do. And I love his approach when it comes to how he feels about the Denver Broncos. I love his approach of how he feels about Sean Payton, the organization, the ownership, the teammates, all of that. I know that players can say all the right things, and most of them do. But I have a different feeling about Bo Nix than I did with any other Bronco quarterback that we drafted. Osweiler, not so much. Drew Lock, nah, not at all. Russell Wilson, even though we didn't draft him, we traded for him, he seemed to say kind of some quirky things. It just didn't make sense half the time. It seemed to be all about him and whatnot. Listen to this, okay? I'm gonna do this segment on Bo Nix and listen to what he thinks, feels, and believes about not only the Denver Bronco organization, the coaching staff. Just listen to this. After the Denver Broncos selected Bo Nix with the 12th overall pick this past draft, Bo Nix has said this, and I quote, "First and foremost, it's a huge honor. He, Sean Payton, could have picked anybody else in the draft, and he chose me." Wow. Just comprehend what he's saying right there. Think about it. Think if you're sitting in a draft room, or if you're going for an interview and a job, and you've got other guys in the room, and you're thinking, I hope I have a chance, whatever. And all of a sudden, you get the job, or you get the pick, or you whatever. I mean, that's a huge honor. And now you have to live up to it. But for him to say he could have picked anyone else in the draft, but he chose me, that speaks volumes to me, because now Bo Nix understands that Sean Payton wanted him. He wanted him. He went after him. He selected him. Okay, let me continue. And I'm still quoting Bo Nix. "With that comes great responsibility, and it's one that I can't take lightly, and I won't take it for granted." Another strong statement. He totally understands it's his responsibility now to live up to what Sean Payton wants, what Sean Payton expects, what the organization expects, what the ownership expects. And he said he doesn't take it lightly. Well, he shouldn't. He should not take it lightly. But I love this part. "And I won't take it for granted." You can't take it for granted. You take it for granted, and now it's up here in your head, and you think you're Russell. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say you think you're Russell Wilson. But hey, that's what Russell Wilson thought. Russell Wilson thought, hey, it's all about me. Bo Nix, a 180 degree difference. Bo Nix says, I'm not taking it for granted. Russell Wilson had his own entourage, had his own office above the players' level, his own everything. Bo Nix, I'm not taking it for granted. I'm not taking any of this for granted. It's my responsibility to prove to Sean Payton that it was worthy of taking me at number 12. I don't take it lightly, and I don't take it for granted. Perfect comment, perfect attitude, excellent attitude. That's what I love about this guy. Is he saying all the right things? Obviously he is. But I think it comes from the heart. I don't think he's saying it from the head, saying, "Oh, I'm just going to tell them a bunch of BS. They'll fall for it. Media will love me." And then I'll just sit back and go, "Yeah, I'm the number one pick from the Denver Broncos in their draft. And the 2024 draft, I'm just going to kick back, put my feet up, and I'll come." No, that's not Bo Nix. That was a Russell Wilson. That's not a Bo Nix. And that's what I love about this kid. All right, let me continue. I'm still quoting. "I'm just excited to be his guy." Another great comment. "I'm excited to be his guy." That's what he says. I'm excited. I mean, he's excited to have been drafted, but he says, "I'm excited to be his guy, Sean Payton's guy." That speaks volumes to me. You got to read between the lines sometimes with these guys. He's excited to be his guy. He didn't say, "I'm excited to be a Denver Bronco," which he probably is. No, he said, "I'm excited to be his guy." Sean Payton chose Bo Nix. That's why Bo Nix says, "I'm excited to be his guy." All right, I continue, still quoting. "I just don't want to be a draft pick." Another solid statement. He doesn't just want to be a draft pick. Anybody can be a draft pick. The very last guy picked in the NFL draft is a draft pick. That's not what Bo Nix wants. Bo Nix wants to be the guy, Sean Payton's guy. He wants to do whatever he can to make the Denver Broncos better, make them winners. I love the fact he says, "I just don't want to be a draft pick." I continue, still quoting. "I want to show what I can do, and that's go out there and win games or do whatever I can to put this team in a better situation." End quote. Oh my gosh. If that paragraph right there did not speak volumes of what this kid is all about, then nobody out there will ever get it. If that doesn't resonate to every Broncos country's fan, every Denver Broncos fan, Broncos country, if that does not resonate and make you just get excited and go, "Holy smokes, I cannot wait for OTAs. I cannot wait for preseason. And man, I can't wait for 10, 15 years with this guy." If that isn't what you're feeling right now, I don't know what's going to make you believe that until you see it, most likely. And I have reservations myself. I really do. Because, we've been down this road before with quarterback draft picks. I have a feeling this is different. I have a gut feeling this is different. And when he says those things that he said, and I emphasize on those points, when he makes those points and he feels it, he's not going to take it for granted. He doesn't just want to be a draft pick. He wants to prove to Sean Payton, "You made the right choice at number 12. That to me speaks volumes. Tells me this guy is on a mission. He is on an absolute mission to prove everybody wrong. Everybody wrong. Not just Sean Payton. Not Sean Payton wrong, but he wants to prove everybody who didn't take him number one. He wants to go out there and prove he is worthy of being a Denver Broncos franchise quarterback. He'll do whatever it takes. And he even said, "I'll do whatever I can do to make this team better and this Broncos situation better." Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Man, I can't wait. I was excited when we drafted Bo Nix, but I really wanted J.J. McCarthy, and he went to the Vikings, my favorite NFC team, and Robert Marino, my nephew Bobby's favorite team. So, hey, I'm okay with that. If J.J. McCarthy couldn't come to the Broncos, I'm glad he went to the Vikings. So I'm okay with that. Love it. Bo Nix, I love it. Absolutely love the pick. Love the guy's attitude. Love his determination. Let's just see it on the field. Let's see it play out, because I am ecstatic. Absolutely ecstatic at this point in time. Absolutely. Let's see. D-Rock says, "Has the Broncos finally broken the quarterback drafting curse?" I sure hope so. I absolutely hope so. And I think one of the key things is, D-Rock, is this. The quarterbacks that we drafted, who was our acting GM at the time? That's right, John Elway. John Elway always tried to get a John Elway prototype in the draft. You can't find another John Elway. You can't find another Peyton Manning. You can get similarities, but you're not going to get a clone. That's not going to happen. Nobody's going to have the mind of a Peyton Manning. Nobody's going to have the mind of a Peyton Manning to be able to look at the defense and just audible to the perfect play and just be that kind of quarterback. Nobody's going to be another clone of Patrick Mahomes, being able to throw the ball left-handed, behind his back, through his legs, whatever the guy wants to do, he seems to be doing it perfectly. There's not going to be another Patrick Mahomes. It can get close. It can get close to Peyton Manning. It can get close to John Elway. It can get close to those type of quarterbacks. You're not ever going to find a perfect match clone. It doesn't happen. It doesn't exist. It's not ever going to exist. You can get close. But if you start looking for that particular prototype, you're going to end up with the quarterbacks we had in Osweiler and Drew Lock and others that we had. You're just not going to find it. You're not going to get it. Sean Payton is different. He knows what he wants. He knows the type of quarterback he needs. He knows the type of quarterback that can run his playbook. And that he believes, and I'm really starting to grab hold of it, and that is Bo Nix. Okay? Just saying. We have to let it play out, guys. We have to let it play out. We don't know what it's going to look like on the field until we see it. So hopefully everything comes to fruition, and Bo Nix is just, the next, Broncos, great Super Bowl or great quarterback to take it to multiple Super Bowls and win it. That's what I'm hoping. That's exactly what I'm hoping. All right. Let's see. Robert Marino, Bobby says this is the first quarterback drafted that isn't Elway's pick. It's very true. I just mentioned that. Absolutely. And that speaks volumes because look at the direction we went. Completely different direction than John Elway would have gone. No doubt about it. Let's see. David Burns says this Bo Nix pick somehow tells me down the road it's going to do damage control. Steelers wanted him badly. Steelers did want him badly. Absolutely. And we play the Steelers, ironically, this season. So we got a Bo Nix who the Steelers wanted, and the Steelers have Russell Wilson, who we had. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting game. I would love to see that in prime time. That would be fantastic to see that in prime time. Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night, I don't care what night it is. Put that game in prime time, please. I want to see Bo Nix go against Russell Wilson and see what happens. I would love to see that prime time. It's got to happen. Come on, guys. It's got to happen. Somehow, some way, it's got to happen. I don't know. I don't know if early in the season, mid-season, late in the season. I don't know. I just want it to happen. I think it would be fantastic. Can you imagine the build-up to that game? Russell Wilson goes against his former head coach in Seattle 2 years ago when we opened up against Seattle, and lost. Russell Wilson goes up against his former head coach in Sean Payton. I would love it. I would love it. I would love to see Russell Wilson lose it again, especially to a rookie in Bo Nix. That would be icing on the cake, baby. That'd be icing on the absolutely proverbial cake. Let's get it done, guys. Come on, NFL, listen to me. Put that game in prime time. It would be spectacular. All right, guys. Last topic of the show tonight. Once again, each and every one of you, thanks so much for being in the chat. Thanks so much, each and every one of you, for watching, listening, wherever you may be. Really do appreciate it. I will go down the list of those that have been in the chat at the end of this. But on the way out, guys, please do us a big favor. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Hit the thumbs up button. It absolutely shows others that you appreciate it. It's the easiest way to show guys that you you enjoy the show, you enjoy watching this 65-year-old crazy guy talk sports, and really do appreciate, hit the thumbs up button. It costs you nothing. It's just a mere click of the mouse, and it really does help out the network. Really does. Thank you guys so much. Let's see. D-Rock says he would put the matchup between the Steelers and the Broncos at midseason, just like the Jets was last season in primetime. I totally agree. That would be perfect. Right smack dab in the middle, man. Let's see how the Steelers play first part of the season, how the Broncos play first part of the season, and then bam, head-to-head matchup midseason. I think that's a very, very good call there, D-Rock. Very good call. All right. Last topic of the show is about these guys, the Colorado Avalanche. After last year's first-round exit at the hands of the Seattle Kraken, the Colorado Avalanche took down the Winnipeg Jets 4-1 after losing badly 7-6 in the first game of the series. Reason why I say badly is because Georgiev gave up 6 goals. He looked pathetic in that first game. Absolutely looked pathetic. Then the Avalanche rolled 4 consecutive wins in a row. 4 consecutive. Down 1-0, came back and took down the Winnipeg Jets this past Tuesday. Yes, this past Tuesday, 4-1. They will be moving on to the second round against either the Dallas Stars or the Vegas Golden Knights. Both those teams played tonight at Vegas, starting 7 p.m. Pacific time. I'll be watching that game, cheering for the Vegas Golden Knights. Why? Not that I like Vegas, because I can't stand them. But if Vegas can force a Game 7, they're trailing 3-2. If they can force a Game 7 and win Game 7, they are a wild card team. That means the Colorado Avalanche would have home ice advantage. If Dallas beats Vegas tonight, they move on to round 2 to face the Colorado Avalanche, but the Avalanche will be the road team. They will only have 3 home games maximum. Dallas would have 4. If Vegas forces Game 7 and wins Game 7, Vegas would be the road team, only have 3 road games. Denver or Colorado would have 4. That's the importance of Avalanche fans wanting Vegas Golden Knights to win tonight and then win on Sunday and then play Colorado. Do I think the Vegas Golden Knights are a stronger team than Dallas? Well, Vegas won the Stanley Cup last year, so of course they got to be favored. If they beat Dallas, they would have to be favored. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. I would rather face Vegas Golden Knights. They're in the Avalanche conference, so we know how they play. We know how they are. We know how Dallas is too, but Dallas is strong. Dallas is extremely strong. Their goaltender is extremely solid. And not to say that Vegas isn't, but I just feel that if the Avalanche have home ice advantage, they have that advantage of their own fans. And by the way, Colorado Avalanche are the winningest home team all season long. That speaks volumes, especially in the playoffs. If the Avalanche can somehow have home ice advantage against the Vegas Golden Knights, I love our chances moving on to the third round. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, like I mentioned, please do so. Hit the thumbs up button. It really does help out the chat. It really helps out the network. It helps out my channel as well, Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. Really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so very much for being a huge part of the show. It would not even be anywhere close to as good as it is if I didn't have each and every one of you watching, listening, and interacting in the chat. It absolutely makes so much more enjoyable doing this show live each and every week with you guys. So let me go down the list, because if you guys are taking the time to be in the chat, I can take the time to acknowledge each and every one of you that have participated. Batting leadoff was Lawrence Tahara, followed by Big E Bronco, Kamani Dixon, Unique Prepping, G Money 88, Let's go on down here. Robert Marino, Bobby, my nephew. Thank you so much for being in the chat. D-Rock as well. David Burns from Cedar Hills, Texas. Thank you so very much. Really do appreciate it each and every week. You guys are the best. And like I mentioned, if it wasn't for you guys, this show would not be anywhere near as enjoyable as it is for me to bring it to you each and every week. Thanks again, guys, so much for giving up an hour and 10 minutes of your Friday evening, wherever you may be. Thank you once again. Enjoy your weekend. Let's go Vegas Golden Knights. Take down Dallas tonight, and let's force a Game 7. Till next Friday, guys, have a wonderful, fantastic weekend. We will talk to you next Friday. Till then, guys, have a wonderful evening. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Tempo's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast's racking up the flame out. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle. Wait a minute, work hard for the car, so that's why it's all tinted.